Hey, 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 it's story time with Miss J. Hey, 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 it's story time with Miss J. I'm excited to read this book with you. Let's click the button and get started. Frederick Douglass, Voice for Justice, Voice for Freedom, by Frank Murphy, illustrated by Nicole Tadgell. Frederick Douglass. This is the story of how Frederick Douglass, who was once an enslaved person, helped outlaw slavery in America. In the early 1600s, some white people bought, kidnapped people from many African countries and brought them to America. It was cruel. These white people sold the Africans to other people to work for them. They treated them as property and did not pay them for their work. This is called slavery. Frederick Douglass's mother, Harriet Bailey, was born into slavery. That meant Frederick was born into slavery too. The people who owned Frederick did not tell him his exact birthday. Frederick thought he was born sometime in 1817. Many slaveholders did not care enough to keep enslaved families together. Frederick did not live with his mother. He only got to see her a few times in his life. One day, Frederick was being unfairly punished by a woman who was also enslaved. He was not allowed to eat. Frederick's mother arrived. She walked 12 miles to see him. She was bringing him a cake shaped like a heart that she made for him. This is one of the reasons he decided his birthday was going to be February 14th, Valentine's Day. When she saw what this woman was doing to her son, she was very angry. She told the woman never to punish him like that again. Enslaved people were not supposed to learn to read and write. But the wife of Frederick's slaveholder taught Frederick the alphabet. She began teaching him to read. She stopped their lessons as soon as her husband found out. He and some other slaveholders were afraid that if Black people did learn to read, they would have the tools to resist being enslaved. But Frederick found other ways to learn. He gave bread to poor white children he met when he was on errands, and they gave Frederick reading lessons in return. At a shipyard, Frederick watched shipbuilders writing letters on wood. He used chalk to copy what they wrote. By the time Frederick was 16, he had grown strong and tall, and his mind had grown strong too. Frederick's slaveholder was worried that he was learning too much, so he sent Frederick to work for a different man. The man was paid to teach Frederick a lesson, and that was that he was a slave and nothing more. The man beat Frederick many times. One day, Frederick made a brave but risky choice. When the man beat him, Frederick fought back. He fought back and he won. After that, the slaveholder never laid a hand on him again. Go, Frederick. Frederick kept reading. The more he read, the more he learned. He knew that white people were not better than Black people. He knew that all people should be treated equally. He knew that people should not be enslaved. Years later, Frederick was able to escape to the north, to a state where slavery was against the law. He met a free woman named Anna Murray. She was a housekeeper, and she helped him escape. She snuck a sailor's uniform from her laundry pile so Frederick could wear it as a disguise. The disguise and some documents allowed him to escape. Go, Frederick. Go, Frederick. 12 days later, Frederick married Anna. In New York, Frederick met people who wanted to abolish slavery. These people were called abolitionists. Abolish means end. Can you say abolitionist? Abolitionist. Frederick told the abolitionist his story. The abolitionists asked Frederick to give speeches about his life. He was a powerful speaker. They knew he could help others realize that slavery was wrong. Soon, Frederick was giving speeches to thousands of people. Frederick wrote a book. It described what he went through as an enslaved person and his triumphs in his fight for freedom. It is called Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. People all over the country and even across the world read his book. Because of Frederick's book and the speeches he gave, more people began to understand that slavery was wrong. Frederick and Anna had 5 children. Anna and the children helped Frederick fight against slavery. Their home in Rochester, New York, was a station on the Underground Railroad. This was not an actual railroad. It was the name of a network of people and safe houses on the route to the north to freedom. These brave people helped the enslaved escape. 4 of Frederick's children helped him publish an anti-slavery newspaper. It was called the North Star. Lewis and Frederick Jr. helped print the newspapers, and Rosetta folded them. Charles delivered them. The North Star was an important thing in an enslaved person's life. That was the way to freedom. The Civil War started in 1861. Most people from the North were fighting to end slavery, and most people from the South were fighting to keep slavery. Frederick wrote articles, gave speeches, inspiring Black men to become soldiers. He even met with President Abraham Lincoln to convince him that Black soldiers should be treated just the same as white soldiers. Soon, many more Black men were fighting for the North. Over the next 4 years, 200,000 Black soldiers helped the North win the war and preserve the United States. 2 of those soldiers were Frederick's sons, Charles and Lewis. After the enslaved people were freed, Frederick argued that Black men should be given the right to vote. He helped convince President Ulysses S. Grant. Congress amended the Constitution and made it a law that Black men could vote. Frederick made history in a lot of ways, but not many people know about this. When Frederick was a grown man, he decided to choose a birthday for himself. Frederick thought about his mother. He remembered that day she came to his rescue. It was in February, and he remembered the heart-shaped cake she gave him. Frederick decided to honor that memory of his mother and the love she showed him. He chose February 14th as his official birthday, Valentine's Day. His mother called him her little Valentine, and this would honor her. This is the author's note for this book. For most of his life, Frederick believed he was born in 1817, but a document written by Frederick's slaveholder was later discovered. It said that Frederick's birth was in February 1818. Most historians believe that this proves that Frederick was actually born in 1818. In 1926, Black History Week was created. It was created by a historian named Carter G. Woodson. Woodson chose that week because it included President Lincoln's birthday, February 12th, and the birthday Frederick Douglass chose, February 14th. Years later, February has become Black History Month, and it's a month to celebrate the important contributions of Black Americans. Check out the Black History Month playlist on this channel to learn more about Black history, about Black Americans, and their contributions to America. The end.